Here we are with a pod full of Saints, and tonight we're coming live from the Beverly ahead of tonight's match against Hampton. Oh, bit laughter there. No, game off, frozen pitch. Second time we've had a match called off frozen at the Beverly. Last time December 2010, something like that. Anyway, here we are, pod full of Saints. Myself, David Tavener, shaking head there. Jake Ellacott, who was on his way to Hampton last time the game was called off earlier in this season, weren't you, Jake?
Yeah, not as bad today, thankfully. So very grateful for that, the early postponement. Thank you, Hampton.
Lee Wood, you've now got a chance to go to the match when it's replayed, of course, because I think you were busy tonight.
Working. Some of us have got jobs, boys. You know, we can't all sit on our asses just shouting at the moon. But thank you very much.
Welcome. Right, we got one match to look back on and two to look forward to. Starting with one going backwards. Last Saturday, we were down South Coast, Priory Lane, home of Eastbourne Borough. They were looking to complete with double over us with a fifth successive win at our expense. They didn't get it. We won 2-1. We gave them a goal start. Sire Legenza gave them a first half lead, which I felt, Jake, they deserved. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought first half, and David Noble hinted it in his post match, didn't he? I thought first half we just didn't play particularly well. Didn't really get going. We played a lot of really direct sort of route one long ball, which isn't really going to work when you're playing against Musa Diarra, who'd signed the day before. And so that was easy for Eastbourne to deal with. The closest we came was probably when Musa Diarra proceeded to yank Shaun Jeffers down on the edge of the box. Possibly could have been a penalty, possibly a red card, either way. But yeah, that first half didn't impress me at all. They also hit the bar, didn't they, with a brilliant effort. And I thought Eastbourne deserved that. And, we needed to respond going into half time.
That was a fantastic shot that hit the crossbar. But obviously, Josh McNamara judged it real. That's going to hit the bar. That's not going in. I'll let that go. But they're shooting apart from that. That's the reason why they didn't win. So many shots. They didn't keep them on the island. I don't know if it's their full-time training, but they're too muscular, too clunky, and they're hitting the ball too blooming hard. It's going way out the ground. Their crosses were the same. You probably noticed it, Jake. Their crosses were the same. They were going too long. They're just wasting good positions. And a number of times they got offside. So when we didn't play particularly well in that first half, as you suggested, Eastbourne, I felt, lost their chance to take control of the game.
Definitely, you're right there. And I thought second half we might not have done a lot, but we just allowed ourselves into the game enough to the point where we could capitalise on Eastbourne just not being very good. There's a reason they're in the bottom four, despite Adam Murray coming in recent weeks. And they didn't really, as you say, Dave, they don't like a full-time team driven by data, do they? Like they claim to be.
Well, data is, was it 1 point in 5 games? Adam Murray's got his work cut out there. There'll be some changes down there, no doubt. As for us, well, what a transformation. Was it 26 seconds or something like that into the second half? Shaun Jeffers scored. A little while later, got his second of the game. First City player to score 10 league goals or more in 3 successive seasons in National League for the club. If only we'd had a player like him at the start of the season, David Noble could have picked. Just where would we be now? But those 2 goals he got, Lee, Jake, sorry, 2 poachers' goals, wasn't they? Proper centre forwards goals.
I'm actually going to pass this to Lee because I know he loves a good Shaun Jeffers chat.
Love a good chat generally, mate. I want to make this all about St Albans as opposed to Eastbourne and their shortcomings. What I would say is that we're now starting to get a bit of consistency. I know we've harped on about this, but we're turning draws into wins. And whereas before, early on in the season, we weren't necessarily sort of doing that. I think it shows great depth. I think it shows great endeavour and character. And yes, it's not always the Shaun Jeffers show, but I think what you're alluding to there, Tavs, is that you just cannot keep a good man down. And I think even though, yes, you talk about poachers' goals, you've still got to be in there. And I thought some of his interlink play, actually, on Saturday, going by the highlights, was absolutely superb. Brought a load of players into the equation when we were attacking with force. So, listen, I mean, I was saying this to someone on Sunday. I'm hoping now that if he was to get dropped, it was for a legitimate reason and nothing, that's sort of going on behind the scenes, because we spoke about this in force in the past. Shaun Jeffers will win you games of football. And at the minute, it's all going swimmingly well.
It is. What I liked about the goals, they were created from out wide. we got the ball down the flank, left flank, then got it in, and it's almost a proper football goal, wasn't it? Ball coming from the middle of the park out there and into the box. A sort of goal he's going to feed off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it would be an understatement to say both of them were tap-ins. I thought first one, of course, very close range, but the second one, I think he does really well to finish it where he does and put it out of the range of the keeper as well, right in the top of the net. I mean, there's some other strikers, some of them that we know, would have put that well over the bar and probably out the ground. So
Any names,
I thought,
Jake? Any names
no,
there, mate? Do you want to
do you
throw
know
us
what?
in, buddy?
I'll leave those. And I just thought, it's easy to say. It'd be easy for people to look, oh, Shaun Jeffers again, 2 goals. But his overall play, as Lee said, was really good. And 2 finishes. There's not many other people in our squad that is doing that.
There's 12 goals in 8 games for him. We've mentioned it so many times. Other sides, they'd be scared of him again now. They know he's back in business, and we're back in business. A great run we're on. Is it four straight wins? Looking to get 5 straight wins against, well, it'll be Worthing now. So good chance of doing that. Not Worthing, Weymouth on Saturday. With a Hampton game being off. Last time we won 3 successive away league games. That chap was the manager.
Oh my God! Why have you got? Oh God! What a photo that is! Christ!
Well, that was there before.
Is that
Nobby
from your
was
shrine there, Tabs, or what?
Actually, we should give Ian a mention. Congratulate Hendon on their fantastic result in the trophy last Saturday, winning away to Oldham Athletic. And I think the Hendon supporters coach stopped in St Albans on the way through. So obviously, 35 quid up to Oldham was better value than 30 quid down to Eastbourne. I don't know.
David.
maybe not. Who knows? The game itself wasn't actually memorable, was it? Really, was it, Jake? It was blooming cold, David. Toes told us that.
Yeah, it wasn't memorable, but it was. We sort of mentioned it last week, didn't we? The Farnborough game wasn't particularly memorable either, was it? But it's 2 games on a trot at least that we've won. Not necessarily comfortably, but we've won them in a way that we weren't doing at the start of the season. Start of the season, we were really struggling in those games, weren't we? We'd often lose them. So, and you can see where it's propelled us now immediately. We've caught up a lot of teams that were ahead of us a few weeks ago. And if you can keep managing to win these sort of games, you keep yourself in the race for, top 10 finish at least, if not more than that in a minute. And it just gives you that interest and keeps you going. But 2 wins, not spectacular, but I couldn't care less. Win's a win. And both games weren't great, but I'm happy.
Well, this coming Saturday, of course, there's 4 teams going into it on 41 points. Some are inside the playoffs, some are outside the playoffs. It's going to be a fascinating weekend, isn't it? And just because the league is tight and promotion places go so far down the table and they're all promotion contenders, it does keep the interest going. So you have a run like us and you're in there.
Yes, I think because it is so tight, there is a small window for error. Slip-ups will sort of incur, of course they will. And sort of, just touching on young Jake's point there, wins, regardless of how they come, they breed confidence. And, it's something that we weren't always able to do at the earlier stages of the season. But now we're doing that. You can see the way we're playing. Players are, I don't know, they're just sort of, the shackles are broken and you can see the weight of the world has lifted upon some of their shoulders. Shaun Jeffers in particular, it's amazing what one player can sort of do for a team. He is our talisman. Take out of the equation whether you were Team Noble or Team Jeffers at the start of the year. I think everyone's now playing or singing from the same hymn sheet. And hopefully it's going to kick us on because having Shaun back in the side scoring goals is where he needs to be, where he wants to be and where we want him to be.
It's funny on Saturday, we stuck away half percentage of our chances because can you remember either keeper really having many saves to make, Jake? I can't.
No, not really.
Good. I'm glad we agreed on that.
Sorry.
That's absolute top draw analysis, Jake. Well done, buddy.
What about that attendance, Jake? I gave it 1,190. Where about 400 or 500 of them hiding? I didn't see them.
I mean, I'd love to know. I presume they were still in the clubhouse, maybe. I don't know where they were at all. Yeah, it wasn't exactly packed, was it? It's fair to say. So But decent away support from the Saints. Decent number travelled down on not the most pleasant day. So well done to everyone that travelled down again with the Saints got behind them.
They could have been a bit clearer with their pricing as well. You can get an online ticket for what was it? It was a decent price, whatever it was, 13 quid, I think. On the gate was 18 quid. Now it says online you can get it for 13 quid. When it says the match day price is 18, which you assume to be at the turnstile. No mention of the online price going up. So a lot of City supporters got caught out with it and paid on the day. And judging by the grumbles I heard, some very close to home, they weren't happy with it. Clubs should make it clearer. If you can charge 13 quid for the rest of the week, you can certainly do it on the day. Anyway, minor gripe, 3 points. That's what we wanted, and that's what we got.
Hold on. Minor gripe. Dave, haven't you sent about 10 emails and accosted about 4 different staff at Eastbourne on the day?
I did send an email, just inquiring about it, and they got a media team like us and haven't replied, which is disappointing. You've got to look after spectators when they put an inquiry in. I shall bother putting a polite one next time. I'll be more blunt next time.
These media teams.
I know. I will say £5 jump in the admissions fee for a National League South game is absolutely insane, isn't it? I mean, 18 quid is bad enough, but the fact that it's a £5 jump is just ridiculous.
Take out of the equation, though, that it's actually for like a National League South game. So what's bloody Eastbourne? You know what I mean? It's like, I feel sorry for the poor sods that got to go watch that week in and week out. I mean, for crying out loud. Goodness me.
Well, had it been on tonight, isn't it 19 quid at Hampton?
Something like that. I don't know, Dave. You get all your figures wrong every week now with the entrance fees, don't you? So
we got it right. Just got named a club wrong. Right. That's Eastbourne finished. They're still down in the bottom 4. They're going to make some changes, but they've got a lot of work to do. All that bottom 4 as well. We're going the other way, of course. This coming Saturday, can we make it 5 straight wins away to Weymouth? Fortunate to beat them in the home game, thanks to a Michael Johnson penalty save. Saw us home there. They're outside the relegation zone, but could yet get sucked in. If we want to keep this run going, so sort of side, you'd be quite happy to play, wouldn't you?
Would you? They are capable of on their day. And they don't have too many of them, granted, but on their day, they can cause problems for any team. I know what you're saying, but you have to think about where we are as a team and as a unit going into any fixture now. And I know we've got some tough ones coming up, but I don't look at them now with the same trepidation as I did maybe a month or 6 weeks ago. So that is a good thing, and that is just how far we've come in such a short space of time.
Weymouth scored in their last 12 league games, but only 1 win in 7. So confidence won't be high, and that wasn't at home. Don't think they've won at home since about November. So it's a good time to be going there, really. I can't see any former Saints in their squads. What do you feel about it, Jake? Confident, or would you be happy with a point?
Not particularly confident. It hasn't been the happiest of hunting grounds down there, has it, in recent years, to be honest? Don't have great memories. The game last season down there was similar time of year, actually, and it was a dreadful display from mostly us. Weymouth weren't much better either. And then Michael Johnson kept us in it with a penalty save, didn't he, basically? And that was it. So it wasn't a great performance, and I don't have happy memories down there. I've not really seen us play well down there. So I don't, as I say, they're just outside the relegation places. I think did they win on Saturday? Did they beat Slough 3-0 on Saturday? I think I saw that they scored a brilliant goal from about 25 yards. So I'm just a bit anxious, and also with the weather as well. I suspect it's not going to be the most brilliant of pitches down there. So it's going to be tricky. But like you said, Dave, on the back of these 2 wins, surely on the face of it, this is another game where you should be thinking, get another 3 points from this, and then see where we go going into possibly tougher games to come.
Yes, you're right. I hadn't updated my record. It's 2 wins in 8 for them, and they did have that 3-0 win last Saturday. Well spotted, Jake. But you're wrong about our record against them. We've won 3 of the last 4 and drawn the other one, so that's not too bad.
Can I just say to you, Tavs, how much is it to get in, mate, on Saturday?
I think it's about 3 sheep down there, isn't it? Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I can tell you in a second. It is Weymouth is £16, and I don't think there's a discount for an online price, so it's still cheaper than Clarence Park on match day.
Gotta get the dig in, haven't you, Dave?
No, it's just stating the facts. No dig at all. Stating the facts.
I have to say, I don't remember that game earlier at the Clarence Park earlier in the season at all. I mean, what was it, 1-0 that we won? Was it Michael Johnson? Was it? You said Michael Johnson made a penalty save. Don't remember anything about that game.
2-1. They got a goal back late on. Then they had the penalty saves as well, and they really pushed on hard late in the game. But hey ho, we held out.
Are you in the bar, Jake?
2-0.
Well, which one, Lee? There's so many to choose from.
There are. And aren't there a vast array of alcoholic options available to the mighty Saint supporters?
Oh, dearie me. I mean, I have to mention, these lot are managed by Bobby Wilkinson, aren't they? We know what sort of teams he puts together from his time at Hungerford. I suspect it might be a bit of a battle on Saturday.
Yeah, it could well be. Right, nothing else more to add on that. We're flying through this today, aren't we? We've got another preview to do. Now, this is an interesting one. Havant and Waterlooville, they lifted themselves off the bottom of the table on Saturday. Was it 5 wins in 7 since they sacked Steve King as manager? They've now got 3 caretaker joint managers, so I don't know which one's going to take lead role on Saturday. But what a transformation. Devante Stanley didn't play last Saturday when they beat whoever it was they beat, Maidstone. Great result. This is going to be tough. No two ways about it.
It will. And I have to say, you say they beat Maidstone. For some bizarre reason, that came up on my YouTube feed because I'm just a sad bloke. And I watched the highlights. And it has to be said that for the first hour or so, Maidstone absolutely dominated Havant. They should have been 3 or 4 goals clear, really, until Maidstone just had a mad sort of 15 minutes where they just gave away 2 cheap goals. But until then, Maidstone had a really style of play again, keeping it on the ground, using the width, and that really cut Havant apart. And it was only just for their finishing and not having a striker that can score goals to actually put the ball in the net. So hopefully we can sort of learn some lessons from that going into this.
Yeah, we got a pretty decent record against Havant, didn't we? If I remember rightly. Where are we? But about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Won the last 6.
That'll do. That'll do very, very nicely. One thing,
7 will do nicer.
Absolutely. One thing I would say about the Havant game, there's an ongoing joke on the terraces of Clarence Park. You know, we always laugh about how badly Havant are doing. And okay, they won on Saturday, but they're still, I don't know, some number of points away from getting out of the zone. But you had to have thought that with the players they've got at their disposal, they're going to make a surge one way or the other. But, you know, it looks as though the 3 caretaker managers have got them playing a style of football that's just getting results. I think at the minute, that's what they need as opposed to performances. But they'll be looking at us as well. We're in form. They're not going to want to face us at all. And I think that's the beauty. It's a wonderful thing when you've got a team, when your team is you know, determined and dogged and sort of hard to beat. And as I sort of say, they're coming from behind victories and they're maybe getting draws out of losses, etc. Maybe we've turned a corner now, and hopefully Nobby and the lads are going to look at Havant in a different light, in so much that, you know, they're not a team full of ex-pros and they're not the highest paid team in the division or whatever they were. You know, they've got some good players, yes, but they're beatable. And with the players we've got and the way we're playing, it's certainly on the cards for us, fellas.
Well, coming up this weekend, the Weymouth game, do you see any changes for that one? If Michael Johnson's fit, he wasn't fit last Saturday, unfortunately, after playing the County Cup midweek. You'd imagine if he's fit, he's going to come in for Josh McNamara. And you also had on the bench Ryan Blackman and Mitchell Weiss. Can you see a way of them getting into a starting 11? And if so, who for?
It's hard to say at the minute, isn't it? Because we've got a team that's 1-2 on the bounce, and it'd feel difficult making that. I think Michael Johnson probably is the one change if he's fit. I mean, we've still got that question mark, haven't we? quite unusual for him to be able to play in the Currie Cup, but then not make the league game. And I think this is probably McNamara's last game of his loan, isn't it? On Saturday, the 20th of Jan. So probably be the last time we see him if he features. But otherwise, I don't know what I'd make to in terms of change of the team. I suppose you probably want to look at Ryan Blackman, don't you? Just had a bit more experience in that middle. But then having said that, midfield last couple of games hasn't exactly worried me too much. I don't if either of you think we could fit one of those changes in.
I would like to see Mitch alongside Shaun.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think he might look at Zane, actually, just because I think that he's come back from an injury, and yes, he's absolutely just blitzed his way through the last 4 or 5 games. But maybe heavy pitch, they're going to be a bit more physical. Maybe start Mitch with an option, and then bring sort of Zane on for the latter stages. But then again, you're just changing it for change's sake. I think, yeah, if MJ's fit, bring him in. He's the best keeper we have. So, and they're going to be quite physical as well, and we're going to need some of those sort of a more commanding keeper, should we say?
Yeah, Dom Hutchinson's finding some good form of late. One player who has been a bit off of late is Gio Rasulu, I feel, anyway. So maybe, if you want to bring Blackman in, there's a possibility there.
Yeah, that's probably the one sensible option, isn't it?
I don't do sensible, Jake.
But it's great, isn't it? Now we've got a winning team. It's actually quite tough to make changes, and we've got players returning, which is quite weird as well. Although we did manage to lose Sam Brown thanks to a dislocated nose, so he's gone again for a while. But I think Jack James is now fit, isn't he? And also, I know that Kyan Wiltshire and Romeo Akinola are back in training, aren't they? 2 names we haven't heard from. One of those names we haven't heard from in about 2 years. And the other one has been quite a few months for Kyran. So options available in the future, at least from those 2.
Yeah, the lack of updates from the club, I know it's quite terrible. The supporters keep asking, and they've not been getting any news. We're not the only ones. Supporters ask us on match days. We haven't got a clue. So it'd be nice to see a bit more of an update on that. I was going to say something else before you said that, Jake. Never mind, it's gone.
Tannoy? Glenn McConnell? No?
No. Do a Tannoy next week.
Oh dear. I mean, as I say, Devontae Stanley's not been in the squad for Havant's last few games, has he? Last couple of games. So I wonder if he'll come back.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Last Saturday he wasn't in it, but he had been playing up until then. Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully, it'd be nice to see him back at Clarence Park, I guess, as long as he doesn't score.
Yeah, he was having a good little run actually, but you might be the last 2 because I haven't got Maidstone lineup. Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get a warm welcome.
He's popular, isn't he? City supporters love him still.
Yeah. There definitely won't be any comments about going for Havant or the reasons why he might have gone to Havant, etc.
We said that exact same thing to his face down in Havant. There's no shame on this podcast, my friend. Come on.
Oh dear.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. We have gone through it quickly. Let's get some predictions out of the way. Saturday. You can go first, Lee, this time, I think.
How did I do on the predictions last week, Dave? Thank you. Thank you. Predictions
yes,
for
Lee
this
got
week.
it right.
I'm going. I mean, I was due. I'm going to go. I'm going to go 1-1.
Ooh.
And Havant.
I'm going to go 2-0 Saints.
Oh. Jake, 4 points from Lee. Same from you?
I'll go 6. I'll go 2-0 against Weymouth and 3-1 against Havant, I think.
This is wonderful. I think we'll win Saturday, but I'm going to go for a 2-2. That makes sense. Havant. We're both on a good run, aren't we? It could be quite entertaining. So a 1-0 down win. That'd be great.
That's the spirit.
We take that at the moment, won't we?
Yeah.
Right. Oh yes. I know. I was going to mention. You mentioned the Sam Brown injury there, Jake. Is Horrible injury. He has got a broken nose. He went for a header in training. A player in front of him went for a header as well. Flicked his head back. Horrible. Must have been painful as anything. Anyway, he's out for a little while, apparently.
There you go. Dave, I'm quite surprised you didn't say, oh, back in your day, they used to play through broken noses, etc. That's quite polite.
Mate, back in his day, they had like cart and horses coming on at half time just to sort of plough over the fields, mate.
Yeah, and they played round it. They didn't stop the game, played round it, just like in rugby.
Well, on that note.
Right. Right, okay. Short one tonight. I think we're off.
Dave, you got anything else you want to mention?
No, I haven't today. You lucky devils.
Thank God for that. Lee, anything from you?
I'm all good, buddy. I'm all good. Off to the pub we go.
Well, that happy note, we will speak to you again next week. It's Podful of Saints on Twitter, Podful of Saints in the email as well in the description. And we will speak to you again next week after the Saints pick up surely another 6 points. Come on, you Saints.
Well, do you want a stat to finish?
Oh, here we go.
Yes, we love a stat. Oh, he threw that in. Blimey, he was going to sign off then.
We have scored and conceded 899 goals in National League South. So get yourself down the bookies on Saturday for the player who's going to score the 900th goal for and 900th goal against. There you go.
Wow, wasn't really a stat I was after, if I'm being honest with you. You gave it the big build-up, Tabs, and you let me down. Next time.
Lee, I'm trying to win you a fortune. Don't tell anyone.
Bye-bye, everyone.